on us. Fire, fire, fall on us. Start out a revival. Fire, fall on us. Hi, everybody. I hope you guys are well. Um, I'm just trying to make sure that everything is going well over here. We're gonna have a great time today. Because today is gonna be a special episode of RYV Live. I'm excited as always because I think I'm always excited. Um, uh, Thanks so much for your patience because there were some technical difficulties today. But we're here nonetheless. Hi, EP. Oh my gosh, just love how you got. I feel like we're starting to get into a rhythm now. Thank you guys also for being patient with me because we didn't do Listen Deeper or Shape the Sound last week. Took a little break, but we're back on this week. We're gonna be talking about Kira Sheared on Wednesday, and on Friday we're gonna be remixing and all the things. But you guys let me know, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are keeping really well. And I realized as well, I think I'm also in the TikTok, like in the realms of the places. I can't necessarily say, this is where I am. But yeah, I don't. You probably didn't even decipher that, but that's okay. I hope you guys are doing pretty well yourselves. I am here in these live streets, and of course, like always, I'm really excited to talk to you guys about vocal things. But I think last week was kind of a shock for me because we had like this really cool thing that kind of happened where we had a whole bunch of people that popped out of the woodworks to kind of tell their own vocal stories. And for me, I was just like, I think I needed to pause with that a little bit and just kind of take it in. And I think I'm still kind of in that mode. So what I kind of wanted to do was have what I'm calling singing trauma story time. We did this in the Reclaim Your Voice um, a podcast, for those of you that don't know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the literally over 2,000, possibly 3,000 comments that we have in the whatchamacallit, um and in the comments on this video asking about why you stopped singing, and just kind of comment on it and talk about it. So I really want to have that conversation with you guys. And I'm trying to pull up the comments so that I can see all the comments from you guys, because I know that there's a lot of you guys that are talking that I couldn't necessarily say last week. So I'm trying to make sure that all the things are connected so I can really be able to connect with you guys. But nonetheless, how are you guys doing? You guys let me know how you guys have been. I'm great. I feel like I'm constantly great. Mind you, there's sometimes when you have bad days and you're like, I'm not necessarily feeling the greatest right now. But that today's not one of those days for me. So don't mind me because I'm still trying to find things. But and I didn't even have a poll today for you guys. There's a lot of things that are going on. But it's funny because I was actually just listening to a TikTok that was talking about R&B, and I think we had a conversation about how R&B is actually a lot different than it used to be. It's not what it was. And a lot of people are really angry with R&B right now. It's interesting. Like a lot of people are just like, get me. I want to hear the people singing. Oh my goodness. And I'm one of those people, really. Uh, I am one of those people, but it's funny because I want to, I want to be, I want to also kind of give, what's the word? Not credence, but validity to all of the other things that are happening, in the music world. So I'm not necessarily like, uh you like I'm like just throw out all the new music, but I'm still in the place where I can still enjoy a little bit. But anyway, it's for the objects at hand. If you want to look at all the comments, feel free to. But there are a lot of comments on this video about what about the reason why people were not singing anymore. And so what I decided to do was just kind of get into it and just kind of read like some random comments and just kind of give you guys a picture of what it's like for people that have stopped singing, and for those of you that have stopped singing. This is me giving you guys the opportunity to re-enter and join and experience the joys of singing, because I think that singing joy is for everybody. Everybody has a voice, and in fact, I have some things coming to kind of help you guys that have stopped singing. But why don't I just kind of start reading, because there's a few story times here. And by all means, if you guys have stopped singing yourself, leave your reason why in the comments, and we'll be able to kind of talk about it. But this one person said that the reason why they stopped singing was because I kept trying to start bands or groups, and no one else put in effort except me and one other person. Finally taught me to keep going with my passions and my goals regardless of others. So this will change very soon. Okay, good. So I think that this kind of encapsulates one camp. And thank you so much for the gift, Miss Inspire. But I think this kind of encapsulates one side of people, where it's like they were trying to curate some type of singing space, or they were trying to create they were trying to create that environment where they were able to glean from it, where they were able to glean from other people that were like, really gung-ho about singing, and they failed to create that type of community. So it's like maybe they were trying to create a choir, or maybe they were trying to create a band like this person, and that didn't work. So what do we say to the person that has been trying to create their singing community and it's seeming like they've failed? I think there's a few things to kind of say to that. Number one would be that, and I'm only saying it this way because it's coming to me this way. But I feel like for a person like this, there's, I think we first have to see that singing is not always about being the king of your own space. Meaning that, when you're starting to collaborate and you're starting to welcome other people into your singing space, there is there's a need to be able to begin to serve the people that are in the room. So the first thing that I think of is, like, for example, a songwriting room. Like, say, in your expression of singing, you want to be writing songs. In a writing room, it can't be that only one person is like the king or the queen or the leading monarch of that experience. For me, from the outside looking into a space like that, I have been in writing rooms, but anyway, I will say that the times when the whatchamacallit, the times when the writing goes well is when the people find themselves to be in a place of collaboration, or a place where they're serving the other people that are in the room. And Mr. Devereaux, good to see you in the chat. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's like and I think you were responding to, like, serving the space. Mr. Devereaux was saying, power belting is always my go-to. And sometimes the power belting doesn't necessarily serve the space that you're in. So we can't necessarily power belt all the time. But even even more closely with this person. So I think the first thing to say when you're failing at creating your singing community is, number one, you don't need to be the king of your own space. And if you're, and you need to, and sometimes you need to kind of check yourself to see if maybe you're trying to become the king of your own space, and maybe that's something that's not serving the singing experience of the people that you're around. And sometimes it looks like having to let go of a little bit of your vision, or rather compromise to create some type of agreement with what's happening in the room. Now, I do believe that it's important for everyone to find their own creativity, and in that case, you are the king of your own space or the queen of your own space, where it's like, oh my goodness, or the leading monarch of your own space, where it's like, like for me, I really like, I really like my own space. So what I do is I produce and I make my own music. Now I do have a lot of talents that kind of intersect that way. Not everyone's able to do that, but when you're writing your own songs in your own bedroom, it's giving you this personal sense of gratification, of edification. I'll never forget. This was actually more of an example in leading worship in church. But I remember I had someone that was I remember I was leading worship at church, and everyone felt like they were enjoying the music in the room, and it was just like it was a really really great experience. But I felt like I was missing out. And I remember when we were kind of talking, the team that I was with, we were kind of talking about it, and the person was like, you're the stage is not necessarily the place for you to get the most gratifying experiences. The stage is the place where it's time for you to serve other people that are, especially when you're leading. It's the time for you to be able to serve the people that are in the room. You should be having your own personal times of edification and gratification outside. And initially I was offended. And I said it in a little bit, like he said it way nicer, but it changed me because I realized I think a lot of people think that the one place where you'll get to enjoy singing is the performance or the stage. But in reality, not everything's going to be a stage. Not everything's going to be a performance. You're going to have rehearsals. You're going to have practice. And yes, there's a difference between the two. You're gonna have different places where it's like, oh, this person says, oh yeah, I want to sing with you, and so you have a little bit of a collaboration there. There are so many different spaces that can be created in terms of singing, and sometimes, in order for us to be able to enjoy our communal spaces, we have to have spaces that are our own. And then when we come to communal spaces, we can be like, okay, what can I do to serve this? And it's when we choose to serve that we get to the place of being able to fully enjoy the experience, right? So that's what I would kind of say to the person that is kind of feels like they're failing in creating their singing community or their singing space. If there's any questions that kind of come up with this, as you guys are listening to this, feel free to kind of put it in the chat, because I'm definitely having a good time with you guys. Now, why don't we? I'm gonna go to the next person. Cooking. Sorry, some of these names are funny because some people have profile pictures and then some people don't, and it's like you'll never know who this person is. But who is it? So it was Cooking with Big Back, aka not available, is like an N and an A. They said, and it was now I'm laughing at the name, but the thing that they said was a little more serious. They said, my mom made fun of my singing, so I don't sing at home. Now it's very interesting because I think in this topic of like having your own personal space, you know what? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab some water because I need water. But what I'm gonna do is, in the meantime, I'm gonna continue talking. So like sometimes sometimes in our lives we all have pain and we have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. I'm still talking. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, I have to get water! Water! Oh my goodness. Jeez! Oh, good. Okay. Oh! Oh. Yeah. I'm back. Becoming treated, he's like losing it in the chat because, oh my gosh, I didn't bring water, and my throat was crying out. I'm just like, I need help, help, help. Lord, I need your help, help, help. I'm crying out, help. Anyway, that was my throat. Okay, so I hope you guys are bearing with me. But what was I talking about now? Um, yeah. So basically, there was this person was saying that their mom was making fun of them. How sad. Thank the Lord. Whew. Okay. Now, okay. All right. So we're back. So yeah, we were talking about this person that was saying, oh my goodness, my mom makes fun of me when I sing, and it's interesting because I grew up in like because I kind of identify with this because I grew up in, let's say, two bedroom. I grew up in a two-bedroom house, and I had three brothers, and it was my mom and I, and my mom and my three brothers, and my two brothers. Sorry, two brothers. There's three of us in total, and so you could imagine what it's like sharing a room with two other brothers, sharing your space all the time, and trying to have some type of expression and having some type of autonomy over your space. Not necessarily the easiest thing to deal with growing up, but what's interesting is I'm gonna give this one two answers because it's like there is the space where you're being made fun of for your singing. So like for example, I had a time where one of my brothers told me to shut up because I was trying to hit a high note and at the top of my lungs and it just wasn't working. Um, and there were other times where they would just call me all types of names because they didn't really understand the singing thing. And what was interesting, I know I'm not gonna bait out my brother's scene. But I will say that I know what it's like to deal with people that are making fun of you for your singing. But I think the thing that helped me the most in the midst of sharing space with, two brothers and my mom was carving. Well, it was two things. It was number one, um, be allowing your desire to sing to be more resilient than your desire to be accepted. I think, and this goes for a lot of different things. I think a lot of people have hurts, have hangups, where it's like the when you look at the root of it, that person did not feel accepted, and because they didn't feel accepted or welcomed in the space that they were in, they felt like they were, what's the word? If they felt like they were being like they didn't have a right to enjoy what they wanted to enjoy, or their passion had some type of uh like what do you call it, like their passion suffered because they weren't being accepted while doing it. I think that building a life in any type of pastime or passion requires you to go through a season or a period where potentially you're not being received for the thing that you're doing. And I think that there's something that comes with that. And this is why actually I'm going to be doing a course on how to sing again after life has shut you down, because I think that a lot of people don't really realize that there is what do you call it? It's like there is sometimes when you want to do something, and this is regardless of if you want to sing or not, anything that you want to do is going to be met with a level of opposition. And you're at that opposition, you have a choice of whether you're going to face that opposition and overcome, and even potentially fail, or whether you're going to face the opposition or whether you're going to run from the opposition. And it's when you run from the opposition that you don't get to actually graduate in getting better at it. So like using singing as our example, if like there are times where people make fun of people for singing, and sometimes that is that opposition that you need to overcome. And and I don't want it to sound like, man up or like woman up, but I feel like there is a need to kind of count the cost of what you're getting into, especially if you're not necessarily born with singing talent, or you didn't necessarily grow up in church, or you're starting from scratch. There's gonna be a need to have that type of resilience and know what you're getting into. So there's that. There's having that resilience that isn't that will say no to the feeling of rejection, and will continue regardless. For me, it was to the point where I was recording my first EP at the top of my lungs at like 3 or 4 a.m. and my family was just used to it. Now, not everybody has that same ability, so I don't want to take everyone's situation for granted, but it's just to show that people that were once making fun of me eventually started to accept the fact that singing was a part of my life. Ooh, man. But yeah, I feel like that's a big part of it. I think another piece I would say to the person that is getting made fun of at home is that in your house, or if you're in an apartment, it really depends if you're in a house or an apartment. Sometimes you have to carve out space for you to do what you want to do. So it's like, if say you want when you want to do a singing, if your singing is not welcome within your home, there may be a need to discover another space. Now, we're on social media, and I'm thinking that most of the people watching this are over 18, but sometimes when you are you're a teenager and you're just trying to figure out how to start your own singing life, sometimes it looks like, especially during the summer right now, finding a closed space outside, whether it be like a corner, or like if you have lots of green space around you, maybe like a forest, and just finding space where there's nobody around, and going and singing. Or maybe it's a matter of having a talk with your parents, and having that space that is carved out, that's yours. But I think I think the main thing about that, though, is carving out the resilience to say, I will not settle for not having singing in my life. I will not settle for not having the thing that I am that I'm passionate about have a voice in my life. And I think that because especially it's easy as a musician to be able to say that, but I think that because I don't want it to feel harsh, but at the same time, that's the reality of the situation. That if you want something, that you're going to have to fight for that space. You're going to have to fight for it. Like point blank and period. Um, but I will say, in terms of like the actual trauma of having someone make fun of you, because I feel like a lot of these things were just like, there were specific memories and moments that just had people say goodbye to singing. I feel like there's a need to also, and I don't want to get into the course material too much, but essentially I'm creating a course on how to sing again after, and I'm going to be recording the course live. So if you want to be a part of the course, just go to the link in my bio, and just download do me a favor and download the free vocal health cheat sheet. If you download the cheat sheet, I'll see your email and I'll be able to let you know when we drop the course, which will actually be very soon, but which I'm excited about. But essentially, when you're being made fun of, and and that was a very specific memory. What I want for all of you is that you take these experiences, but you don't allow them to define what you can or cannot do as a human being, and especially as a singer. And that takes guts, it takes will, it takes courage. I think that we're not really taught to fight for our own happiness and fight for the things that we're the most that we're the most passionate about. We're taught to actually throw those things away in the pursuit of some type of other happiness. And I think that fighting for what you want is going to be a big key here. Um, and I hope that all of you are fighting for what you want in whatever you're in wherever you're at. And I also am hoping that it's like you guys are fighting for, like, you're fighting for the like the life that you want, and you're also clear on what you want. I think that they're like, especially when it comes to singing, a lot of people, because they've counted themselves out of singing, out of having a singing life, they don't think that they deserve to actually sing, and they feel like they don't deserve to actually have expression, and so they keep themselves out of even wanting it. I think that part of the thing here is now also giving yourself the permission to just want it. And be like, yeah, yeah, I wanted to sing when I was 10. Like, for me, I love the season that I've been in, because especially in the first, like, 4 years now of marriage to my wife Maya, there's been a lot of conversations that we've had, and in a lot of those conversations, because she's my person and because she loves me, because she knows me, and I love her too. See, I'm already I'm swooning just as I'm talking. Oh my goodness, I love her. Oh man, I really do. Um, what was I talking about now? But yeah, because she loves me, I know that I just want to talk about her now. She's great. Um, uh, because she is jeez, that's a woman. I love me some Maya. Oof. Anyway, but because she loves me, we've had the ability to kind of talk about, like, some things that we wanted to do as kids, and for example, among many other things. And for me, I realized, and I'm just having these flashbacks, I wanted to be a gymnast when I was a kid. I really did. I wanted to be doing all the flips, the bars, and the what do they call that thing? The horse, not the horseshoe. The bull. Is it a bull where they're doing, where their legs are going all and they're spinning like this, and then they do the flips and all the things. I wanted to be a gymnast. I wanted to be a gymnast. I wanted to be a figure skater. I wanted to do, like, lots of physical things, but it wasn't necessarily like the average male sport. So I personally counted myself out of it. Becoming Trinity says, that's so real. My family gave up the opportunity to sing, and that unbelief that I can do it had been passed. I had been passed down. Oh wow! So you're even recognizing a pattern that was in your own family where they gave up the opportunity to sing, and so that unbelief was passed down. I'm only just now believing that I can, and that I'm worthy to sing for a living. Listen, I love that you're reclaiming this. I love that you're reclaiming this, because it takes a lot to go against the grain, especially when you have parents that sacrificed what they actually wanted in order to build a life for their children. And I think all of us can attest to seeing our parents do some type of sacrifice, or someone that we love doing some type of sacrifice in order for us to have the life that we wanted. Um, but I think, and like, even to that, like I think that even when it comes to singing for a living, it's just like a lot of people don't even realize that, like singing, there's a place where you can sing so much, where you can even what's the word, it's like you can, it's like you make it your extracurricular career. So, like, some people are called to sing for a living, and that's what they want to do. And if you want to be a musician, I like, there's singing, but there's also different parts of running a music business. Like, that's a completely different other topic. But what I think a lot of people don't realize is that they can also pursue their passion in light of, like, their 9 to 5 or whatever their other gig is, and have it as their extracurricular. It's like their actual hobby. So, like, some people are born to do it for a living. Some people are born to do it in terms of as an extracurricular, and that's their thing. Like, you see people that go to the gym. I feel like the gym is probably because there's a physical benefit to it. A lot of us kind of see these fitness influencers, and they're all like, you want to get fit and all that stuff. That's not what they say. That's not what they say. But it's like they want to get fit. You want to get fit. You want to be able to what's the word like it's like, because it's a part of physical health, there's this level of sorry, I'm just changing something around, but it's like there's this level of uh like duty that you feel like you need to have in order to, like, it's like you must be in shape, you must be you must be in shape. And so it's like, because these fitness influencers have the body that you want, it's like they sell you like this dream. And I don't think that people realize when they're watching the fitness influencers, like, there's a lot of on my page because I want to get fit, but it's like there's a permission that they're giving you to want the ideal. And I don't think that we are given the opportunity to want the ideal, and it's widely accepted in every single thing that we could ever want. But I think is if it kind of grazes some type of real need, like health or money or things like that, it's like it's more accepted. But singing, I think people just don't realize that singing is connected to those things, so they count themselves out of wanting it. But especially if you're called to singing, like, it can really mess with your mental health when you're not doing something that is that is the thing that you actually want. It can not only mess with your mental health, it can mess with your ability to show up for your work. It can also even affect your ability to even pursue like entrepreneurial, like what entrepreneurial things, like what you like what are the things that you actually want to have or do in life. It's like, if you are not actually doing that thing that God's called you to do, it's like you are missing an engine out of your car, and you're just pushing the car through life. And it's just like, oh yeah, this is how I operate in my life. When people don't realize that actually connecting with the thing that you actually want the most will actually give you the permission to enjoy the rest of your life. Dwizzle says that they agree. So I yeah, I agree. I think this is just a big war of, do you deserve to sing? And we talked about it last week, but the answer to the question is always yes. It is always going to be yes. And this is a conversation that I feel like we're going to be having for a little while, especially because there's like thousands of comments in this video. I was just like, I was shocked. I was like, whoa, so many people want to sing? What? I didn't even know. Right? Or so many people gave up singing is what I realized. And I believed it, but it wasn't until I was really seeing the comments, I was just like, oh my goodness, like, this is an epidemic. Like, this is terrible. Like, we need to fix this. And so I am one person at a time. So if you find that you're in the place where you're like, you know what, I think I'm ready to sing, of course, like I always tell you guys, please book a call with me. You can go to the link in my bio, or you can go to reclaimyourvoice.ca/call, and there you'll be able to book a call with me. We can talk about your needs, about wherever you're at vocally, and then kind of build a path to where you need to be. So yeah, reclaimyourvoice.ca/call is always the thing. Hi, Bernard. Bernard says, OMG O'Neill. And I'm like, hi, Bernard. It's so funny going live, because it kind of helps you to kind of connect with people that like have been watching you for a while. And so that's what we're doing this summer. We're going live on Monday with Reclaim Your Voice Live. But then also, and this is a really good time to mention, we're going to be back on Wednesday with Listen Deeper. This week we're going to be talking about Kiera Sheard and Kiera Sheard's You Are. I love that song for a while, so we're going to be talking about that song. And on Friday we're going to be on with Shape the Sound, and we're going to have some time to kind of really mess with that same song and just kind of have lots of fun with it. So be there or be square is what they say. So here's what we'll do. We'll do one more singing trauma story time, and let's see if I can. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Oh no. Okay. I'll read this one. Okay. Excuse me. Ooh. And thank you, Dwizzle. Dwizzle says you have such a gift. The way you're able to break down music and singing, I appreciate that. Like it's definitely like a gift that's been cultivated over so many different years. And honestly, I really do think my upbringing. I think the Lord Jesus, because He orchestrated like such a wonderful upbringing for me in having a wonderful mom that was a worship leader and that taught me to sing, and listening to a lot of gospel music growing up, singing in church, playing in church, like it's like, oh my goodness, like I'm really thankful for the gift. So you're thankful for the gift. I'm thankful for the gift. But thank you so much, Dwizzle, for that. So let me. Okay, there's so many of these that I want to read, but this is the one that stood out to me. It says, a vocal teacher told me I could never make it because I sounded like a because I sound like a Disney princess. It was derogatory, and panic attacks at auditions and performances. Okay, I get you. So there's two things going on there where you have, and this is one of the ones that grinds my gears. You have someone who is seen as a musical authority that comes in and brings what they feel is like the be all end all opinion, and it's like, I hate it when that happens, because you have all these people that don't realize that they are holding people's musical futures in their hands, and they just take whatever hope that somebody had and just squash it on the ground. And some people do that as a teaching method. And I've had people that have taught me that way, mind you. I've been able to thrive in those types of places, so there's a way to do it, mind you. I don't know, maybe some people might have called me a teacher's pet, I'm not sure. um so sucking up is another. I'm not trying to tell you to suck up in order to get through those experiences, but I think that, and I feel like for most of us, that most of you guys that watch me are actually, you know what, I don't know, it's probably like 18 to 35. I feel like that's really the core of my audience. But I want to hope maybe well, first of all, you know what, as a musical authority, like, and I don't say that as like, the person who knows everything about music, but simply as someone that is relaying music education, I want to apologize for all the music teachers that have ever taken a crap on your musical ability. And a lot of people, like I said before, have used it as a teaching method. I don't think it's effective, and I think it actually shipwrecks a lot of people in um their their musical journey. And like I and so I want to do that first. Like, this is like, and the reason why I do it the way I do it, and I was actually just reading something somebody sent to me, one of my clients had sent to me, and they were just talking about how they felt safe enough to be able to open up about their singing experience with me. And I started crying, because I was just like, oh my gosh, I love what I do, and it's great that I was about to be a mess, but then I had to had to come live. But I feel like for me, my ethos is just like, I think there's been enough mean music teachers. I think that leading with kindness will help a lot of people to understand and feel like they can actually do this, because you can. And I'm here to tell you that. But I do want to apologize for those teachers that that take our singing dreams and just kind of squash them, to think that, so that because they think that it will make us better. um yeah. Now, and the other thing is, I don't know about you, but like whatchamacallit, Disney princesses have great singing voices. I don't know what about you, but I think they have great singing voices. um oh my goodness. But yeah, it's like, I feel Oh, and Jay Gotti says, thank you. I hope you do a breakdown of Beyonce's Ego, the live version from the I Am Such a Fierce. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know, and it's actually, you know what? I actually did a little breakdown of it. But yeah, um, uh, I know exactly what you're talking about. There's a run there that is crazy. So, hopefully I get to talk about it again. But yeah, I feel like oh, and we have a few people that are talking. Shepo says, my voice always cracks when I switch to mixed voice. Please help. You know what? That's actually something I help people with. So definitely if you're ready to have a voice teacher, go to the link in my bio and book a free info session, and we can see what it was like to actually go in and get some lessons. But yeah, oh, see, Jay Gotti says my first vocal teacher wanted to kick me out of the choir because I wasn't putting enough effort. Now, gosh, it's like I feel like there are so many there are so many I don't even like like there are so many ways that people teach, and I feel like they people just squash on people in general. Um oh my goodness. Ugh. Like it's like people just use I think it's because that's how they see themselves. Often the way that we treat others is a way that we see ourselves, and so there's like it's a it's sad because it's just like you don't really get the opportunity to even express. And I appreciate all the likes. I'm realizing people are leaving likes. What? Okay, cool. Well, thank you. But yeah, I just music teachers, there are many different types of music teachers. Let's just put it that way. And sometimes we mean well. And oh, there's some roses. Thank you for the roses. But yeah, I'm not very I'm not very keen on mean ways of teaching, even though I have benefited from music teachers sometimes. That's another story. But I will say that, like, when you have somebody that like a musical authority that speaks negatively towards you, um, just know that it's the same thing with doctors. For example, sometimes when someone gets a bad doctor's report, they go for a second opinion. You're allowed to have a second opinion. Like the music teachers that you had in school sometimes feel like the only people that will ever give you the chance to learn music, and if you blow it with them, then you've completely blown it. That's lies. There are thousands, I almost want to say millions of music teachers all over the world, and just because you one of them doesn't like you doesn't mean that is the absolute be all and all. Absolutely not. So so by all means, yo, I, I have a thing about music snobs. I'm like, this is crazy. It grinds my gears when I'm talking, when I have to deal with a music snob or deal with something a music snob did. Especially because there were times where I was a music snob. um, and you know what? There's something I'm noticing in the chat. Like, EP, I don't know if you see it, but you have like a top fan badge. I didn't know that we were doing this, but you got a top fan badge because you're a top fan, and I want to celebrate you. Everyone celebrate EP because EP's on like every stream. I appreciate that. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Shepo is asking, who are your top three favorite singers? Y'all, my gosh, you would think that's an easy question, but those questions actually frustrate me because it's not just three. It can't be broken down to just three. Okay, I will give you three. Okay, here's what I'll do. So I'm gonna expand this for myself. I'm gonna give you three male and three female. Okay. Um Did it just show up today, EP? That is crazy. I like congratulations on being a top fan here. I love that. I love that for you because you're definitely a top fan of my book. So good for you. Oh my gosh. I guess if you want to be a top fan, all you need to do is comment. That's really cool. But it's even giving you experience like 50x. Oh no, like 75 XP. Oh, well, that's cool. That's cool. What? Anyway, so who are my top three fave singers? I'm gonna go off the top of my head for the three male and three female. I'll start with the three female. Beyonce, Ledisi, Karen Clark Sheard. Beyonce, Ledisi, Karen Clark Sheard. For the top three male, I'm gonna go off the top of my head and say, um, Avery Wilson, B Slade, and oh no. See, this is okay. Top of my head. For my three male, I'll just go Avery Wilson, B Slade, and Lucky Day. That is top of my head. This is top of my head. I would have to think this through far more. Jay Gotti says Beyonce, Halle Bailey, and Tanashi. Got it. I see you. Tanashi had a moment last summer with Nasty Girl. I think was it last summer or was it 2 summers ago? I can't even remember. But good for her. She had her moment. Um, I don't like when people ask me about my favorite singer because it's such a hard question, and it changes as well. Like so often, like one day I'm like, oh yeah, well actually, Beyonce's probably always in my top three, but then Ledisi's always in my top three. But then there's a new singer that comes along, and it's just like, ooh. Jeez, it's crazy. Alpha Buthrop says, "Can you please teach me how to sing?" You know what? If you go to the link in my bio and you have you book an info session with me, we could talk about what it looks like for you to actually become one of my students. So if you're actually interested in that, just click the link in my bio. Yeah, okay, so yeah, Nasty Girl was last summer. She ate it up and is the sweetest person too. Listen, I I I'll be honest. All the music that came out from like 2010 to like 2018, I'm not really too privy to, just because I had a moment like I wanted to be very serious about the Lord, and I did not. I was not listening to anything that was on the radio. I was in the third heaven, and and now I've come back to share what Jesus is teaching me with you, and part of that is His kindness, and because that's fruit of spirit. Anyway, that's a totally different preach. But yeah, so Tanashi came out during that period, so I didn't really know about her. And I think I heard Tuan, and then what was it? All in the front, all in the back, just what? I don't know what song that is. Ooh, I can't remember the name of the song. Uh, yep, that song. I can't. That was the one I knew. But then Nasty Girl came out, and I was like, oh, okay, got it. I see. Um, I was two heads to heaven last year. Oh yeah. I can't wait for the third act to come out. My wife and I were talking yesterday, and she was like, I hope it's rock and roll. I really hope it's rock and roll. I do too. I would love to hear that from Beyonce. Um, so my current list, and EP says my current list is Brandy, Beyonce. See, I forgot about Brandy. Gosh. And Jalen Josie. Jay Gotti says, have you seen B live this year? No, I have not. In fact, I have never seen Beyonce live. I was supposed to go to the Renaissance store. It did not happen. Um, yeah, I have not seen B live. I don't even know if I'll ever see her, if I'll ever see her live, if that happens. But and I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna happen. And she's finna retire. I'm just like the closest I've seen to Beyonce live is where is it? What was it? All in the front. Now that song's stuck in my head. Just like that. I don't know what the song is. Somebody tell me what song this is, please, because I'm just like I don't know what it is. But oh, you're interviewing people outside. Oh, that's cool. Cool, cool, cool. Um, okay, do you consider one of Beyonce one of the best and most technical vocalists ever? Ooh, ever? Ever? Ah, that ever guys, you know singing's been around since like the beginning of time, right? Like I'm just like okay, one of okay, no, no, no. I don't say this derogatorily, so don't come for me. But only because I to narrow it down as like the best singers that ever live. Thank you. It's like that by Tanashi. Is Joshua said it. Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate it. Um, I will put Beyonce in the top 50. Like I feel like that's narrow that's enough for me to actually think about the most technical vocalist ever. Like I not because Beyonce isn't like off the top of my head Beyonce would probably be in the top 10 at least. But I feel like because I'm a I'm an academic, when you say ever, like the most technical vocalist ever, I have to go 1,000 years back to singers I've never known and all the way up till now. And it's just like I don't have enough of a scope to give like a true reading. And I feel like a lot of people make these lists because they are really excited, but I feel like every single one of these lists has some type of bias. I think there was the list for the top 50 R&B singers that came out. And there was someone that was doing a really good job on TikTok. I hope you guys saw those videos. He was ranking it according to like he had like a system of like uh anything you can do I can do better, like stuff like that. I was just like I'm glad that someone's doing this because it's like there's there's so much what's the word, it's like a lot of people just kind of make biased choices, or they're just trying to get clickbait and they just want to say something controversial so that they'll get that type of reaction. So I'm like, you ain't gonna get that from me. Mm-mm. I gotta be planned. That's part of the reason why I'm going live, because I can be so planned. Um, and I sometimes I just I don't like sharing my opinion unless it is I'm absolutely sure. So I have to get better with that, because at this point a lot of people could consider me an authority. Um, uh, I think I'm just a little bit internet famous. I think that the people that are the actual authorities don't have TikTok accounts or don't have YouTube accounts. And okay, and like with her voice maturing too, instead of breaking apart, is crazy. Now here's the thing. I think you guys would know there are ways to preserve your voice. Like that I think there are technological ways to preserve your voice that I think Beyonce has access to that the singers of old didn't have access to, or if they did it, they wouldn't be regarded as an actual singer. Like pre-records, for example. I think everyone knows that Beyonce uses pre-records sometimes. Um, but she's also singing and dancing at the same time. So like it's she's singing, but you're hearing the pre-recorded vocal. Um, so I think Beyonce's had more of an opportunity to think through taking care of her voice, especially because like there's singers that came before her, like the Mariahs, the Whitneys, you know, had to weather the storm, like doing things 100% live, like for a good for like a go. Um, okay. But yeah, that's just that's the other thing we need to think about. A asks, do you think Mariah Carey would be known as one of the best vocalists if she didn't have the whistle register? 100%. I don't even need to read the rest of your question. I will. But I absolutely hate that people think that Mariah Carey is just the whistle register. Like if you didn't watch, go and watch Mariah Carey's voice is changing is the survey of Mariah Carey's studio vocals that I've done. It pisses me off when I hear people say that Mariah Carey is just the whistle register. You I'm just that sentiment ticks me off. Not that you're saying that that I'm saying that. Um uh but yeah, I'm gonna read I'm gonna read the rest of your comment. Okay, so do you think Mariah Carey would be known as one of the best vocalists if she didn't have the whistle register? Um, uh, I think so. Yes, she should be. You know what? I'm getting into the meat of your question. Do I think that she would be if she didn't have the register? I don't know if she would be recognized as one of the greatest. Would she be? That's a good question. She should be, but I don't know if she would be. I personally think there are more dynamic singers than Mariah Carey that don't have that don't have the whistle register. My thing is, uh, okay, let's do it this way. Mariah Carey in her prime, if you take the whistle register completely away from her discography, is still one of the most prolific singers of our time. I think that I think that like Mariah's whistle register is the cherry on top. Think of it this way: have you ever had a really good cheesecake? I've had some good cheesecakes in my life. My wife's favorite cheesecake is the mango key lime cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. The mango key lime cheesecake has this beautiful setup where it's like you have the mango on the top, and then you have the cheesecake in the middle, and then you have the raspberry sauce that she likes to have on the side. Mariah's whistle register is the like okay, let's put it this way. My wife enjoys the cheesecake without the raspberry sauce. She would love it without the raspberry sauce. But if the raspberry sauce is there, it's like an extra nice thing that's there. Mariah Carey is the mango key lime cheesecake, and her whistle register is the raspberry sauce. She does not need the whistle register in order to be one of the most prolific voices of all time. That's my opinion. I think a lot of people would carry that opinion. And think of it this way. Think of Mariah Carey in her prime. I'm like, and for those of you that are lambs, we're talking music box to Merry Christmas. Think of that era, please. Like we're talking hero, we're talking fantasy, we're talking joy to the world, and oh holy night. Like give that pocket of Mariah Carey, yo, she was singing. Oh my goodness. Absolutely, she would still be what now I think that, oh, man. Yeah, I would still put Mariah Carey up there, and that's my opinion. You know, you may not agree with me, but that's absolutely the opinion that I have on that. Um, okay, who else? Okay, wow, there's so many things. Um, I think there's some more comments that were coming in. When I got closer to God, I learned to preserve my energy for singing, than falling for clickbait. Good on you for that, Jay Gotti. Yes, totally, but how she takes care of her voice and still goes crazy as of right now. Yeah, you know what? Beyonce does still go crazy even while taking care, listening to, taking care of her voice. 100%. There are layers when she performs to make her voice fuller. 100%. Yeah. And I feel like that's it's like, of course we know that singers sing with, there's pre-records, but then there's also the background pre-recorded vocals. Those are just flourishes. I don't, and that's not what I'm talking about when I'm talking about pre-records. But that's just something To but yeah. Um and then A says, EP says, listen, I can't let go. Mariah sang it. And then A says, I love MC Boots. Is that how people, oh gosh, I am so, I could be such an old head. Is that, I think that's how people say that, oh, I love Mariah Carey down or something like that. I think, gosh. But there are three singers who don't have whistle registers that I think have more technically. Now, here's the thing. I Mm. I wouldn't no that let me I have to say this the right way. Mariah Carey is a phenomenal singer. She's a phenomenal singer. I wouldn't necessarily call her like a technician, like somebody that is like that knows all the ins and outs of vocal acoustics, etc. so forth. Like the acoustic, like how to like the ins and outs of her voice. I feel like there's a lot of mystery that is in Mariah Carey's voice that she even still doesn't understand. And I think that the mystery is made it gives her an edge, because she loves to take the biggest risks, right? I think if Mariah Carey was more of a technician, she would not be Mariah Carey. That's my that is my that's my take. So I think there are probably other singers that have more technical knowledge and are more technically skilled, but sometimes technique can hold you back from actually taking like the big risks, like what Mariah Carey does. I don't know if there has been like think if you think of the people that have shaped pop singing right now, Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston. Like from the especially if you're born if your career came after 2000, Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey, 100%. All the risks that they take are now what people look at, and they calculate it, and they're like, am I able to do that? Maybe not, but I'll do it this way. I feel like Mariah Carey's and Whitney Houston's risks that they took gave everyone a benchmark to be able to judge the rest of their voice, and also to give them the opportunity to what's the word, to calculate what their own voices could do, and like they had like something to compare to. I feel like Mariah Carey she just came out of the gate swinging. That's that's my take. Um, Mariah has so many other aspects vocally. Like she was insane, 100%. I guess I said something a little controversial. I feel like people think that if you can whistle, you're automatically the best. I think so too, and I don't think that. I feel like the whistle register is, again. Think about it this way. I remember how I was talking about the mango key lime cheesecake. There's the mango key lime cheesecake and the raspberry sauce. But think of it as you got a Walmart cheesecake and with a raspberry sauce. Why do we have a raspberry sauce? We're dealing with Walmart cheesecake. Like there's no comparison. You get what I'm saying? Why are we putting the whistle register on something that already fundamentally needs work, right? I'm not saying that that's Ariana Grande. Absolutely not. But what I'm saying is that like people treat the whistle register like it's the cheesecake. It's not the most important part of the voice. Anyway, but and just because you have the whistle register, it doesn't mean you're automatically great. Mariah Carey had a lot more than just a whistle register. Yeah, that's me. Okay. um. Definitely. Okay. I gotta go. But one last question. Would you consider Ariana a better vocalist than Beyonce? That's not a hard question. I just have to calculate the way I say things. Mm, mm. Here. Let me give you my ethos, because I have an entirely different ethos. I don't like comparing vocalists, a lot, but I also don't like comparing vocalists that are from a generation after to vocalists that are a generation before, right? For me, I'm not. It's not like Jay Gotti. It's not even just. Oh wait, you guys both have the name Jay. Oh my gosh. Hi Tor. I hope you're well too. I'm doing really well. Um, my thing is, I'm okay. So let's put it this way. If we're gonna compare vocalists, okay, let's put it this way. You have the let's put it this way. If we're going from like late 90s, let's say you have Celine, Mariah, Whitney. You have wait no, you have Celine, Mariah, Whitney. You have, let's say, no, but it's like Tony Braxton and Brandy are kind of weaved in there, giving me 90s. And then you got Beyonce. Um, some people would put Pink is also there, and then you have some newer girls. You have like and then you have like JoJo here, and let's see, Tori Kelly, because she was also in the game at the same time. And then you have the Ariana Grandes. I'm not comparing. You cannot ask me to compare someone who is walking the way that was paved by these vocalists. We're not doing that. Like the reason, and the reason is because it's the difference in technology, the difference in opportunity, especially with women in the music industry and ownership and everything. It's completely different. Like the game is completely different. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. And I am not comparing. I'm not comparing people. I don't like doing it, only because there are so many factors that go into whether or not someone sounds good, and also what people consider good, like a good singer. Here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. If you go onto my YouTube channel and you search like O'Neal Gerald, what is a good singer? Search up that video. Search up that video where I talked about what a good singer is. The reason why is because in that video I do a teensy weensy job of listing. You guys need to behave. You guys need to behave with these comments. No, but oh my gosh, behave, everybody. Behave in the comments. Okay, no, because I thought someone was being shady. But the thing is, if I share that opinion, I feel like people are gonna be mad at me. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. This is my show. You guys are on my show, right? Anyway. Okay, so remember, so when I was giving the people, Beyonce and Christina Aguilera are also in the same era. Beyonce had Destiny's Child, and Christina Aguilera came on the cusp of Destiny's Child. But if we're talking in the lane of great singers and singers that paved the way and created like ways for people, Christina Aguilera is there. I'll just leave it at that, right? Beyonce and Christina were absolutely contemporaries. Thank you for saying it that way, Tor. Oh my gosh. Okay, Hayley Williams is absolutely also up there. It sucks because I wasn't there for Paramore, but I've heard so many like different clips of Hayley Williams singing, and she's singing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I know, but the stands be so annoying and say all these stuff knowing that she's not technically better. I'm like, let's just all enjoy the singers, guys. Um, uh, and then nobody riffs and runs and does vibrato and has better vibrato than Beyonce to you. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you guys. Like, and honestly, I feel like if we had a more and maybe I should just make it. Maybe we should just do that together. Like making a comprehensive list of all of the different factors that goes into creating a vocalist and creating a grading system. I've wanted to do that for years. Maybe I'll just need to do it live with you guys. Yeah. And EP, absolutely. Also for reasons I wouldn't want to emulate Christina Aguilera, especially like later, maybe. But she did her thing. Listen, Christina was a monster. And even so, if you listen to the runs that she does, like, I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. Christina is awesome. That's why the Mariah and Ariana comparison stressed me out a little bit. Again, don't compare generations. If you're gonna compare, if you are going to compare, don't do it with different generations. Um, oh my goodness. But the opinion is relevant. Let us. I love you guys. You guys in the comments. Like this is so fun. And here's the thing. I wanted to stay on longer with you guys. It's just now that you guys are commenting back, and I'm really seeing like there's more conversation. I can stay on longer. So I'm like, okay. Christina doesn't have the best technique. But this is the thing. I feel like when we look at like a great singer, we're only looking at specific aspects of them and specific eras of them. Christina in her prime, like guys, like Christina is a special gift of a vocalist, and we need Christina's artistry in the tapestry that is pop singing, and especially if you're going from the 90s into the 2000s, Christina's career is extremely important to that tapestry. In my opinion, I don't think we need to write her off just because, you know, later in her career there's just some discrepancies with the way that she gets up into her highs. But my thing with Christina Aguilera as well is that she's also very aware of her issues. If you watched her masterclass, she does a great job of talking about her own issues, and it made me mad at her because I'm like, why are you making those choices? But it's because but she's very much aware of her issues. She's really underrated. I feel like she's become underrated to me. Her voice is technically flawed. Her head voice is beautiful. Oh my goodness, Christina Aguilera's head voice is beautiful. So yeah, you guys let me know. I think we need to create like the ultimate like guide as to create like what is a good singer, because there are so many factors that come into creating a good singer, and I think. And I talked about this when people were comparing Beyonce to Adele. I think there's a reason why people think that Adele is a prolific singer. Like I wouldn't necessarily consider Adele one of the most technically skilled singers, but she's prolific. Why? I think that needs to be discussed. Maybe we should do that next week. Maybe we should do that next week of creating this thing. So we'll start with singing strong story time, and then talk about this tapestry of things that go into a great singer. But go watch the video because I'm going to be repeating myself a little bit with that. Where does Brandy play into that? Into what exactly? In terms of remember, Brandy is contemporaries. Brandy came because you have Whitney, and then you have Whitney was at like late 80s, I believe. And then you have Mariah, which is early 90s. Brandy was also early 90s. So Mariah and Brandy's career are like in terms of longevity, they have their careers are pretty much the same length, give or take maybe at like 3 years. Yeah, I think if all the discussed singers sang their songs a cappella, that would best reveal themselves. I think that's a really good marker. That's a really good way to kind of imagine it. I love that. Evie's asking, are they Mariah and Ariana only compared because of their whistles? Because nothing else about Ariana's voice reminds me of Mariah. I would agree with you there. I think it's mainly because the way Ariana's more head voice based, so like her overall tone is very different from Mariah, in my opinion. I think it is. I think it is because of the whistle register. Um, I gotta go. I enjoyed this. Oh, thanks for coming, Jay. Let me leave with my bubble and stuff. Um, um, N- Wait, are bubbles and staffs? Oh gosh, I'm so new to this, guys. I think that's like the way that you help people, or like the what do you call them, like roses and stuff? The gifts. That's what they're called. Sorry. Thank you. I appreciate the gifts. Um, Under the right conditions, Christina sings down. Absolutely. Christina took. Where is it? Where did it go? Christina took a long time to mature out of amateurishly screaming and mimicking soul singing. I feel like the thing is, I feel like Christina had her own take on, like, for example, Whitney Houston. Like, I when you listen to them sing and you really listen in, you can tell that Christina drew a lot of influence from Whitney Houston. And I feel like she did mature. She really did mature. Now I think it's just she does a lot, so it we can kind of get lost in the sauce with in terms of her ideas. But if you break down the ideas are extremely like calculated and what's the word? Intricate, very intricate. Um, that bubble gonna pop when the bees come through. Wait a minute. What is the bubble? Is the bubble an Ariana thing? I don't know, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so behind the times. Battle of the J Stand. You guys are funny. Brandy is contemporaries with Monica. After the Mariah Whitney generation. Yeah. So Brandy and Monica are contemporaries. But Mariah, like, I feel like give or take 3 years. Like Mariah came out like what, 1990, I think. And Brandy came out like 94 or 93, and probably Monica around the same time. Agreed. A lot of people do write off Christina, but some of our faves also had flawed technique. No shade. It's true. It's very true. I'm a lemon. I have similar critique for Mariah Carey, and I think she's one of the best. See, I think the theme is that nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect at all. I love me some Brandy. She's made me cry too much with some of her songs. Listen, I feel like because a lot of people are. I feel like there are people that are coming out that are just like, oh yeah, Brandy vocal Bible wear. I'm like, listen. And I was talking to my wife about this yesterday, especially as a studio artist. And this is not to say that Brandy is just a studio artist, but as a studio, like someone who's crafting things in the studio, people don't even know how immaculate Brandy is. I feel like they totally sleep on her capabilities to create. Um, Beyonce and Adele comparisons have felt like blasphemy to me, and this is something I talked about in the video. The reason why it feels like blasphemy is because the people that rear Adele, that love Adele, have a different system of what it means to be a good singer than people that love Beyonce. In my opinion, it's like the rankings and the priority systems are different. Don't forget about the ego breakdown. I will cry. Oh my gosh. Do it. See, my iPad's not even charged. Okay, did I, because I did break it down a while ago. I have to find that video. If I find it, I'll be able to post it. Do you think that Aaliyah was ever a great vocalist? Rest in peace to her. Yeah, I think so. Just in an underrated way. Um I think Aaliyah was quieter. She reminded me a little bit more of Janet Jackson, who's a great vocalist. It's just a different style. And I don't think that we got a chance to fully hear all of Aaliyah's capabilities, unfortunately. But yeah, rest in peace to her. Um, yeah, Beyonce is a way stronger vocalist than Adele. Adele's good, but I think she's overrated as a vocalist. different systems. I would say different systems, and also different song styles as well. Um, this is what pisses me off. People don't understand. I feel like people understand white songwriting more than they understand black songwriting. And when I say songwriting, I mean lyric creation, melody creation, harmonies, everything that is being sung, right? I feel like people want to understand white stories and white songwriting, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think but when it's done um at the expense of understanding and empathizing with black stories and black storytelling and black songwriting, that's when I have an issue. And so I think that it's just two different systems of songwriting, two different singing styles, two different singing systems, in my opinion. And so I think that's why there's such a disparity. um oh, so the bubble is Ariana's because of Wicked. I understand now. I understand. I see. Okay, got it. Okay. Um. Okay. Hey. Okay. Okay. Got it. What would you say? Janet Stacks. Put some respect on Janet Jackson Stacks. um. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Stop commenting real quick because he's black. Thank you. I don't think he's reacted. Okay. I will say the controversial thing. People like white singers who sound black. I think we've known this. This. Hmm. I'm not trying to get in trouble. I'm not trying to get in trouble. But I think that's the. Who is it? Was it Stephanie Mills who said they want R&B, but they don't want it from us being black people? I think that's a good way to describe what they want. Um, what people want. I feel and I think part of the reason why Christina Aguilera was a success is because she was doing a lot of black singing, and she appeared white, right? I think they just wanted it from not necessarily, they want black singing but not necessarily from black people all the time. And now I think Christina Aguilera is like she gives credit to the black people that she's drawn from, but I think yeah, it's like but part of the reason why she was successful is because she was singing like a black singer. um yeah, yeah, the way Christina sings is irritating. Honestly, I think Christina Aguilera, like you, no, it depends. If you were there for when she first came, for when she came through, um, if you were there when Christina Aguilera hit, like if you were there for What a Girl Wants, if you were there for Genie in a Bottle, if you were there for the Stripped album. Listen, my wife showed me this. That whatchamacallit, Stripped the album. You can't get fooled by the whatchamacallits, the things of what do you call it? You can't get fooled by the singles of Stripped. Yeah. This Tor says some of those ad-libs are seared in my brain. That's hilarious. It's true. It's true. Oh my goodness. What could you say is a flaw for Beyonce's technique? I love her, but I would like to know. I don't like talking about people's flaws. Only because, and now not that Beyonce has many. I don't think that Beyonce has many. I think I don't like talking about people's flaws only because I feel like that's a conversation that I would have with like singer to singer. I try to allow people to appreciate the singers that I talk about. Um I at least I try. So I But I think one thing that Beyonce has talked about, which was interesting to me in the Renaissance film, was how her growls came out of an injury. So she has so one of the things that are most characteristic about Beyonce's sound actually um uh what? I don't, anyway. But anyway, yeah, I feel like that's actually something that came out of what people would call a flaw, I would say, in my opinion. Um, yeah, I'm glad you're liking the conversation, Tor. There's EP says there's a word appropriation. The next step would be erasure. I think, yeah, I think appropriate, but mind you, appropriation is like 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 we live in a world that uses cultural appropriation. Now, I do think that there's a lot more a cultural appreciation that we mistake for appropriation. I would say. I think that we've made a lot of people are afraid to sing black music because they feel like they're appropriating, or they might feel like they're being racist because they are what's the word, they're appreciating a particular side of black music, and they feel like just because if they are public with that appreciation, that someone might think they're appropriating. So I feel like there's a fear thing there that prevents people from actually being able to enjoy the music, in my opinion. And I think that's part of what's caused this underlying gentrification of black genres, where there are people that are doing the black genres, but they're not really like aligning themselves with the black artists that created the genres. And so you're getting these gentrified versions of these gentrified genres, like CSECTS is what I'm saying, of pop music that actually gleaned from black music. And you're also getting black music that's being done in other genres, and they're not actually, maybe they're recognizing it, I'm not sure. But like, for example, K-pop, that's right now, if you guys are watching K-pop Demon Hunters, watch that movie. It was a great movie. I actually really enjoy K-pop partly because they are doing all of the urban pop and upbeat black pop that was being done from 2005 to 2010. Like, that's what their sound is right now. Anyway, I digress. Whew, oh my goodness. Oh, that's a good question, A. I think Taylor Swift is, and this is their opinion. I think Taylor Swift is a very basic singer, and I don't consider her a vocalist at all. Why do you think she's pretty much outcompeted, statistically, artists like MJ and other top tier artists? Because she writes great songs. She writes great songs, and I think another conversation. You know what? I need to write down what these conversations are, because this is good content. Um. Okay. So what was the first thing we said? We said we wanted to do a breakdown of good singer criteria, and then we also said um and then there's this one, uh singers who songwrite or whatever. Um, People forget that in order to have a great career, you don't you're it's not being a good singer is not good enough. Whitney Houston had great songs. Mariah Carey had great songs. Celine Dion has great songs. And it's on the great song that is crafted to get stuck in your head, and also have a conversation with your soul, that creates the super success. Taylor Swift writes amazing songs. She is she one of the greatest songwriters of our time? Possibly. I'm not sure. I would have to do much more of a survey to actually be able to answer that question real, like on the real. But the reason why Taylor Swift is successful is because she writes amazing songs. And call her what you will if you feel like she's not a vocalist or anything like that. Not that it's a sin to not think that she's a vocalist. Everyone has their opinion, but she can write a song. She can write a song. She's I like, technique is not how she leads her singing, or like she's not as technically led as like a Beyonce or something like that. But she will convince you of whatever she's singing about. Um, Let me see. Okay, yeah. So yeah. Uh, Christina Aguilera, yeah, her stripped album was phenomenal, and Back to Basics was pretty. Listen, people sleep on Back to Basics. That was a great album. Some of those ad libs are seared in my brain. Beyonce is a great student. She adjusts well as well. I would say so as well. Oh wow, sorry, I'm really behind. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yikes! I have to hurry up. Thank you guys for the follows and for the roses. I appreciate it. Um, I think a lot of people used to critique Beyonce for her vibrato. Yeah, her vibrato was much more present when she was younger. Yeah, people also over singing as well when Beyonce was younger. Yeah, I love how at 43 she isn't declining vocally, and to me it's really impressive. Beyonce was really a prodigy though. I don't. Was Beyonce a prodigy? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I would say. Yeah. You could see that in her early stuff. Um, my thing is the important thing is if you want to do anything in your life, is your intention. Back to Basics was a scream fest, screaming. Oh, okay. Yeah, Back to Basics was a screaming fest. Nah, I would listen to it again. No. Back to Basics was quality to me. And if, of course, Christina has a way of getting up there, but no, I wouldn't say Back to Basics was a scream fest, in my opinion. But you're welcome to have your opinion as well. Um, oh yeah, people having their black sense and everything in the early 2000s. Yeah, 100%, 100%. And now I can't. Yeah, there's a lot. Um, New here. What did I miss? Okay, what did you miss? Oh gosh, Alice. Or at least I'm sorry. Uh, okay, what is it? Excuse me. Um, what did we miss? We talked about a lot. We talked about singing traumas. I guess we're talking about vocalists and just like what makes a good singer. I think that's kind of what's happening right now. A says Freddie Mercury was a better songwriter. Taylor Swift makes nursery rhymes. No, I think people misunderstand pop songwriting. Like pop songwriting, there's an art to it that isn't necessarily understood all the time. Um, but the like Taylor Swift isn't just like a white girl with a guitar that's just making money because she's a white girl playing guitar. I don't think so. Now, do people want to hear white stories more than like the stories of other cultures? I find so. I find yes, because that's what we're being fed. So if there's anything that's race related that's playing into that, that's where it is. But I would say that Taylor Swift is like she deserves the acclaim that she has. I think it's just more so I don't like that other stories and other versions of songwriting aren't being given the same spotlight. I feel like there's enough to go around, and I just don't think that it's happening the way that it should. Uh so essentially, yeah, we're talking about about good singers. Um oh wow, you know what, J Gotti? Okay, I might let's see if my iPad has charged, we might be able to do this. Hold on. I don't even know if it has charge, and I don't even know where my Apple Pencil is. Goodness, you're catching me unprepared. Yeah, see, my iPad is completely dead. But you know what? It I might just have to do it like for listen. I might just have to do it for Listen Deeper or something like that. Or maybe next time. I would have to schedule it, but I'm gonna have to come back and do the ego riff. I don't know exactly when schedule it will be, but yes. Okay, now uh okay, also okay, the way people consider Adele a vocalist because she sings great ballads. I think people, but that's the thing. And it was saying people don't understand that Beyonce uses songwriters because she knows we don't get hired a lot in the music industry or not as valued, but Beyonce can write songs. I think Beyonce can write songs as well. Absolutely. Like I 100%. Me saying that Taylor Swift writes great songs is not to say that Beyonce doesn't write great songs. That's not what I'm saying at all. But Taylor Swift is like, she's not a vocalist, but she's more songwriter than she is a vocalist, I would say. And so the answer to the question of, like, why is Taylor Swift popular? It's because she's a great songwriter. And me, lauding the fact that she's a great songwriter is not to the detriment of anybody else that we've talked about today. It's just to give her flowers. And there are enough flowers to go around. Okay, now, oh goodness, I have to read faster. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, I think Taylor is also very relatable to a lot of America. I think so too. Her song. Oh, someone said Taylor Swift's songwriting is one dimensional, but as a lyricist, she's great. Is it one dimensional? You know what? I haven't listened to enough of Taylor's catalog, but honestly, I gotta say, like, Taylor Swift flipped from country to pop. That transition period, and especially, like, to have both like, what's interesting to me is that, for example, Beyonce coming out with a country album was prolific in showing that she can occupy different spaces. Taylor Swift was in country and she did like a pop, like, somewhat urban pop sounding album with Reputation. And I'm like, wow, you can also occupy different spaces with your songwriting, the same way that Beyonce does with her songwriting. I think that's great. I think that's great. And I also think that Taylor Swift has a lot more dimensions to us. That unfortunately, I think Taylor Swift's career, sometimes, because it's so big, we're salty that all of our other favorite artists, especially the Black artists, aren't getting the whatchamacallit, the shine that they deserve. And for me, I'm like, again, there's enough roses and flowers to go around. So if we're giving one person their flowers, it's not to the detriment of others, but yeah, there's enough to go around. You're a fan from Beyonce, 100%. 100%. I'm a Beyonce fan. There's no secret about that. I'll never take that away from Taylor. She can write, but I don't like her voice, and that's totally. I love that we're being honest. We're being honest here, 100%. Okay. Jay Gotti, I just realized you were praying for my iPad to be charged. You know what? I'm charging it right now. Hopefully, it's got some charge. It's gonna get some charge. Yeah, it's charging right now. Maybe I'll be able to pull it out and then just show you guys the ego riff, because I think that I don't know if I'm gonna be able to leave here without doing that. Now, where is my Apple Pencil? That is a different. They need to make a Find My for the Apple Pencil, because I don't know where it is. And we got Listen Deeper on Wednesday. I hope you guys are gonna be there for Listen Deeper. We're gonna have a great time. Okay, now Beyonce is okay. What? Sorry, where am I now? Yeah. Do 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 do. Yeah, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is great. Absolutely. I prayed too late. That's hilarious. I love the ego riff and the plastic off the sofa run too. Yeah, I agree. I really agree. Oh, thank you. um. Thank you so much, Jay. Um. I'm saying your name right is Jay Gotti. Oh, thank God. I could have been butchering that. Oh my goodness. Oh, EP's asking, how do we feel about Billie Eilish? I like Billie Eilish. I don't know about you guys. I think Billie Eilish is great. Again, there's enough flowers to go around. For Mariah, the whistle got our attention, but her mid-range made her a superstar. 100%. Great take, Leo. 100%. Main says Jasmine Sullivan also writes, but she can sing. Listen, I I love jazz. I love me some Jasmine Sullivan. 100%. By one dimensional, I mean she doesn't really tap into other aspects of songwriting. Like as a so what do you mean, Buitiana? Are you talking about just lyric? Is that what you mean in terms of songwriting? Are you talking about melody creation? Are you talking about? Sorry, I'm reading all of them at the same time. Um, I mean, she doesn't really tap into other aspects of songwriting. Yeah, tell me what you mean with that. I would love to unpack that. Um, okay, okay. You know what? I'm gonna try and get to the bottom of these. For the people who can get through a whole Taylor Swift album, you are God strong. Stop! Oh my gosh, Tor. I will say now. I will say I think that currently we're in a little bit of Taylor Swift fatigue. I would say, and this is not at a fault to her. This is just to say I think that she was just coming out with so much music. I feel like it's like I feel like right now Taylor Swift is in a moment where I think it's just time, just break time, just for her to live a little bit of life and just come back with some great music. Are we talking about the riff and the bridge of ego? Yes, that's the one that is being talked about. I'm gonna see if my iPad charges, and if it does, we'll flip the screen to do it. Sing the bridge of Malcolm X. I'm so done. I thought nobody else found those videos. Oh my gosh! Sing the bridge of Deja Vu. Yeah. I have to see if my daughter's sleeping. One sec. One sec. Babe, is Olivia sleeping? No? Okay. Okay. I, it might get loud just for a moment. Okay, I'm doing this once. And I'm doing this once. Okay. Baby, I can't go anywhere without thinking that you're there. See, look at everywhere it's true. I gotta be having that shuffle, cause in my mind, I want you here. Get to the next flight, I don't care. Is it because I'm missing you that I'm having that shuffle? Why I'm trying to kick myself out of control? The sexiness is so appealing, I can't let it go. Okay, I'm done. That's the one. That is one. Those videos were so fun to make. Oh my gosh, and I don't lip sync. Oh my gosh, it's funny because when my baby was born, I just stopped singing like that. I don't know what it was. Maybe because I was just I was tired, especially the first few months. But I just stopped doing it. Maybe I need to do a bunch more. But but that's for you guys. Oh my gosh. I love Billie and Beyonce. Okay, good, Alice. Billie Eilish is one of the best whispering divas. Stop. Baby, I can't go anywhere. Yep. Yep. The fact that you have to check if the baby is asleep. Listen, I'm a father now. Before it was just my lovely wife just tolerating my noise. But now we gotta make sure that the baby isn't sleeping. Um yeah. Oh, good. I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, B-Day was loud. And listen, I was having a moment at the gym today. I did not want to continue, and I turned on Freakum Dress. I just blared it in my ears. I just needed the loudness. I just needed it. Oh my goodness, it was loud. It was loud. I feel like it was just all the pent up frustration from having to like hold back on Dreamgirls. She hollered all the way through the thing, and I listen. I loved it. Hmm. Um. Oh, okay, got it. Okay, such a good album. That was great. I appreciate. Thank you guys so much. Freakum Dress is is saying the same thing. Um, uh, okay, I think these two comments are on the same place. I just think Taylor's songwriting has a template that's reused. I wouldn't say she's one dimensional, but she is adored by the dominant culture, and that props up her career a lot. I would say the same thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's adored by the dominant culture, 100%, 100%. Um, the lyrics aspect of her songwritings is really developed. But that's the thing. I think that and Eddie, thanks so much for sharing the live so much. The lyrics aspect of her songwriting in her songs is really developed. Um yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Um Frequent Dress is loud. Frequent Dress is loud. 100%. The vocals were insane. I listen. Yeah, listen, for me, that stint from Freakum Dress to Green Light, whoo, whoo, yeah, love that. hmm Um, uh, the melodies shifted with the genre, but the rest is lacking. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, so you're thinking that Taylor Swift is one dimensional in terms of her lyrics. Um, in terms of her lyrics, like her lyrics are really great, but her melodies are kind of the same. But that's the thing. It's like I feel like and this is to no fault. But it's just as somebody that's needed to be in black and white spaces, I've just noticed a few things. I feel like white songwriting is that's what white songwriting is. It is a great lyric. It's amazing poetry that's put to a melody that you can remember. And I feel like anything that is outside of that box is not fully understood. I feel like that's why Renaissance lost for album of the year, is because people don't understand harmonies and tone and storytelling with the voice. Like they just like they don't understand it, and they don't have to understand it. This is where I get a little heated. They don't have to understand it, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, do, 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 do. uh, I personally do not have an opinion. I haven't listened to any of her other stuff. She seemed cool though. I think you were talking about Billie Eilish. Yeah, B Day is so loud, but it's the greatest. Yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. Whoever mixed and mastered B Day is the real MVP. That's hilarious. Oh, okay. Do you know producers? Oh, that's a good question. Get Me Bodied is also very loud. Green Light had me thinking I was about. Listen, I was doing my jogging when I first wanted to lose weight. Um, uh, I was running to Green Light. I have to cut weight again, but at least I've done it before. The Dream or Dark Child. Dark Child. That's just personal preference, and also he's much more of an influence for me. Taylor Swift is just white privilege in poetry. Mm, I think because Taylor Swift's career is propped up so high, I think it's what A was saying before. I think because she resonates with the dominant culture, that we can kind of like want to like get at it and be like, oh, she's just too popular. I think she's like she deserves to be that popular. I just think there's other people that if we took the time, listened to different stories and different styles of storytelling, that they would be propped up higher, and we'd be able to celebrate all of them. There's enough roses to go around. Yeah, B Day is loud. It's my favorite morning album. I feel like when it's time to clean the house and my wife and I need to get our kids up, we'll just blast Freak of Dress. To be get up, get up. And thank you for the Hurricane Keys. I appreciate that. Um, that's facts. Renaissance was incredible. No shade. Um, let me see. Stop. Anyway, I'm African. I'm African, so I grew up to a different complexity in music, and sometimes they have a few lyrics. When I listen to Taylor Swift, I don't find this complexity, except in her lyrics. Actually, that's what I meant. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I feel like white songwriting props is like storytelling and poetry, lyrical brilliance, and then all the melodic stuff is just not as high as a priority, in my opinion. Um, and and uh and I don't know if we're ever gonna see the flip of that. I feel like it's only an African in the African diaspora that you're gonna see melody and arrangement and production as more important. Uh, yeah, and I don't know. Mariah Carey is right there. I am not wasting my time with Taylor, but shout out to the Swifties. You are loved. Stop. Oh my goodness. And he says, also J Hud is powerful, but still not as dynamic as B. But I'm not quite sure B could sing Nisum Dorma. Uh, hmm. Also B is powerful too. I feel like uh stop EP. Millennials have the greatest Saturday house cleaning playlist. Oh my goodness. What are you guys putting on your Saturday cleaning playlist? I would love to know. Put it in the chat. Definitely put it in the chat. What is my cleaning playlist? Um um I see what you mean, A. Yeah, dynamic and that's the thing. Dynamics is another different thing because all of our music is mastered so that the loudness is the same. So it's like all the quiet stuff, you don't really feel the dynamic differences in a voice really, and really because you don't have to because everything's mastered so loud. um what's my Saturday cleaning playlist? If I want to get them out of the bed, we're blasting B-Day. That's like we're blasting Ring the Alarm. We're blasting Freakum Dress. But actually no. Like right now, especially in my daughter's early age, I'm not necessarily introducing her to a lot of Beyonce. Stop. Stop. Lost Your Mind is definitely there. I love that. That's hilarious. But my cleaning playlist, truthfully, would probably be a lot of Kirk Franklin, a lot of whatchamacallit, uh, mm, um, hmm, yeah, Kirk Franklin, just all the gospel I grew up on, really. What would you consider your favorite Beyonce album based on different aspects? Oh, okay. I think I've thought about this a lot. My favorite Beyonce album, just altogether, is B Day. However, um, Renaissance has been. You know what? Actually, I took a Renaissance break, and recently coming back, it didn't slap me the way the B Day did. So Renaissance is definitely a number two. But I feel like Renaissance is one of her. Now here's the thing. Let's put it this way. Different people like Beyonce and like their artists for different reasons. They like their artists for different reasons. Um, I like Beyonce because of the grooves and her voice. So I'm not necessarily looking for a whole bunch of storytelling for Beyonce. I might look for that from some different artists, but not from Beyonce. I want groove from Beyonce. So I'm a B Day fan. I'm a Renaissance fan. I'm a Four fan. Those are the main albums for me. What is her best album in terms of storytelling? I would say, and my wife is so. It's not why I married her. Actually, this is all a plus that we discovered after we got married. But she's just got such a great mind. Hi, Haley. Um, but in terms of her best storytelling album, it should be Lemonade. It should be Lemonade. But my wife helps me to see Lemonade actually feels incomplete because if Beyonce had included all of the poems from the film in Lemonade, then for me it's like storytelling hands down would be Lemonade. But I feel like Lemonade with just the songs, I feel like it could have been like Lemonade wasn't necessarily my favorite sonically, but at the time it came out, I would have said that Lemonade was her best album. Um, and Abby's here. Hi, good to see you in the stream. um, okay. Um, yeah, and thank you, Beachwana, for that. Yes, people love Lemonade because it's the most relatable. I feel like Beyonce constantly is uh like she's kind of fantastical. It's like she's like what do you call it? It's like she's not really the most like she's not someone that you can grasp really or relate to automatically just because of the brand that she's built. And I feel like Lemonade made her more human, and I think that's why people love it. But in terms of storytelling, I would say the storytelling album that I liked the most probably would have been self-titled, actually. Now that I think back. Um Truthfully, her best storytelling album is probably uh Cowboy Carter, really. I would say. But my favorite, I would say, would be self-titled in terms of storytelling. Um, in terms of um, uh, yes, and lots of love for the gift. Um, um, you know what? Hold on. What was her? Sorry. Let me actually think about the gift. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, the gift is an honorable mention there. Would I put the gift above self-titled in terms of storytelling? Maybe. I would. I didn't listen to the gift a whole lot, so I would have to listen to it through. But there were some songs on the gift that were kind of a skip for me. Um, but yeah, I think Cowboy Carter was like her best storytelling album. Um, Hi, EP's for EP's Saturday cleaning playlist. EP's gonna be playing Anita Baker and then ending with some trap music, but B Day somewhere in the middle. But she's playing Full Moon, Brandy's Full Moon, before B Day. I get you, I get you, I get you. And wait, I think I skipped some. Yeah, I think Lemonade was her most controversial album, but it wasn't her best to me. In my opinion, yeah, I agree. Lemonade was incredible, but people really love it because she's the most reliable in it. Got it. Caro Mio Bien, Caro Mio Bien was exceptionally executed by Beyonce. I would say so as well. I'm not a classical singer, so someone might think differently. I think I love Beyonce's Low Range from Black is King album, and I love Four. I get you. Um, she was also being provocative with formation in a way that she has never been in the past. I would say that as well. But it sucks because formation. I feel like formation existed because they needed a single. Like it didn't really fit with the rest of the Lemonade. In my opinion. I really love the storytelling on the gift. It shows that aside from the robotic narrative, she has the ability to heal like us. I think with me, I didn't like the covers that she did with Cowboy Carter. Okay, yeah, okay. Self-title isn't talked about enough when it comes to the coherence of the album. Yeah, it's very cohesive. Best album vocally. Oh, okay. And then I wouldn't because the self-title was more personal in a different kind of way. Okay. What's Beyonce's best vocal album? Okay, we have Renaissance and we have Cowboy Carter now as well. I will say um that Cowboy Carter was feels like I feel like we had the most dynamic range and tonal difference from Beyonce. I feel like it's the most explorative that I've heard Beyonce. Um like I liked how we got the ups and downs of Beyonce's voice. I feel like it was the most broad in terms of vocal, like just vocally. But my favorite vocal Beyonce album is B Day. That like hands down. And if you include the unreleased tracks from B Day, get out of here. She was sagging her face off. What are you talking about? Also, Beyonce's "Dangerously in Love" song and Mariah Carey's "Vision of Love" song are my favorite individual song. I got you. Yeah. I hear you. That's how I feel about "Yeah" from Confessions. He needed a single, but sonically it doesn't fit. I would agree. Yeah. Okay, I get you. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. It is Jay still here? Oh my gosh, Jay. I think Jay left. I think my iPad has a little bit of charge now. Uh, Let's believe it will be a time, sugar mama, 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 yeah. I give you all my body, babe, to turn your voice of the prayer. Take my credit card, hear my house, take my car, do my thing to give mama some sugar, before you walk out that door. Yes. Yes, yeah, yeah, yes, yes, yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and work it out. Yeah, Beyonce was singing on "Work It Out." 100%. The beginning of Tyrant makes me feel like I'm a part of a praise team. That's hilarious. Um, yeah, she screamed all of B-Day. If you guys don't know, I have a playlist on the Clock app. I can't even say it there. Of all of I did almost every song I know off of B-Day, including the deluxe edition. So if you want to hear me screaming more, just go there because I gotta preserve the vocal. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, that observation about Usher's confessions is spot on. Good. I love that we're resonating with each other. I don't know. Virgo's Groove may have eaten them all up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Virgo's Groove. I feel like Virgo's Groove has become underrated. It's just that's my little take. Excuse me. I can't wait till she releases the visuals. She's been on. She's been big on past, present, and future. Really, yeah, yeah. And I love that she won album of the year without a single music video. Yo, that's great. Um, I think it'll go Act Two, Act Three, and then Act One. Oh yeah, she's gonna make us wait for the Renaissance visuals. 100%. Um, worldwide woman feel makes me feel like I am a rich woman shopping and visiting the world. Yeah, it kind of feels that way. What do you think about Beyonce's yodeling? It's great. It's great. It's great, and yodeling has kind of been a big part of her um um a big part of her career, a big part of her what's the thing. Are we getting visuals? I don't know. I don't know if we are. I think uh, honestly at this point I think she's gonna release the visual posthumously. Uh, posthumously. Yeah, I think or posthumously. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. Um, I have a question about Mariah. If you were working with her, how redeemable is she in your opinion? I don't know enough. I don't know enough. Here's the thing, Tor. Go and watch if you haven't already. Go and watch Mariah Carey's Voice is Changing, the video essay that I did. Um, because because Mariah Carey's voice is a completely different animal than almost she might have like the weirdest situation with her voice because of the functionality between her modal voice and her whistle register. The two, like it, even the concept of a quote unquote redeemed Mariah Carey voice, there's so many things that could mean, and you could work with Mariah Carey working to, to help her modal voice, but she also needs to keep the whistle capability. So it's like I don't know what you mean, what one can mean redeemable is. I feel like Mariah Carey gave us the some an amazing catalog, and I feel like the it factor for Mariah Carey's career is that her voice has been in so many different states, that, and she is such a great songwriter that she crafts around those states. And because it's not a linear approach, I feel like that's what makes Mariah Mariah. And it's amazing to me. It's amazing. Um, Fight Me If You Want, but Single Ladies feels like a country song. Oh, and the ballads in I Am Sasha Fierce too. Um, I don't like I Am Sasha Fierce that much. I think a lot of people feel that way. Yeah, and but like I enjoyed it when it came out because I wanted to get my hands on any Beyonce album I could, but in hindsight, I don't, and especially the ballads, I find I'm Sasha Fierce to be boring. That's just me. Um, yes, and Smash Into You. Smash Into You is underrated. Love that song. I give that song to a few of my clients to sing because such a beautiful song. I think the holistic approach and a full detox, she could get back to Emancipation of Mimi. The thing is, I think that and Mariah Carey doesn't acknowledge the passing of time, so I won't say it. I feel like Mariah is also she's also at a particular has had a particular amount of anniversaries, so I think that that's something to keep in mind as well. So like all those factors, like I would need to have a very comprehensive conversation about her lifestyle, her life, what her voice has done in particular times, and because there's so many gaps in my understanding of her voice because I'm not close enough. So it's really when I see that I would be able to understand. If I Were a Boy is So Country, I feel like I Am Sasha Fierce was like Beyonce's final go at like being like at just doing what everybody else wanted in the pop realm. And so we got a lot of like the country sounding or like white leaning songs at times. I think the whole is if oh, you're absolutely right. That's Why You're Beautiful is a country song. Yeah, 100%. I'm sad Beyonce doesn't really have doesn't do that many Sasha Fierce ballads on tour. It would really be nice to hear what they would sound like. I was just about to say If I Were a Boy also is very country leaning. Yeah. And then we say, what are your top 5 male vocalists regardless of writing ability? I love how you guys think that I can just name them without thought. I'm just gonna give you off the top of my head. Before I said Avery Wilson, I said B Slade, I said Lucky Day. I'm also gonna put in there Daryl Coley and Jay Moss. Sorry. Daryl Coley and Jay Moss are in there. If you don't know them, what are you doing with your life? Two amazing gospel singers. I wish Beyonce did more promo for Act 1. It would have been so much better potentially by helping people understand the album. I feel like Beyonce wanted you to buy a concert ticket. I think that was the goal. It's like, you're not gonna see me, but you can if you pay $2,000. Oh my goodness. I think that's the theme. Anyway, guys, wait, hold on, because I said I would, but he's not here anymore. I think you know what? Yeah, I'll probably just do it because I have to find my Apple Pencil anyway. For you guys to be able to decipher this. Anyway, you guys, I had such a great time. We've been down here for like 2 hours. I'm so glad that we got a chance to talk. I hope you guys are gonna have a great rest of your week. I will see you guys on Wednesday for Listen Deeper. Definitely come to the YouTube channel for that because I don't want TikTok to flag me because I am doing all the things. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, oh, definitely come over here and let us know that. I might try streaming it on TikTok, but I don't know, because I already got my live capabilities taken away from me, and I don't want that again. Anywho, I am gonna see you guys at a later date though. Shout out to EP, the top fan right now. That's great. And I will.